On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are headed on a night mission to buy the cheapest Corvette in the USA. Well, the cheapest C5 Corvette, I think. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and today I'm here in the truck with Eric, and it's been a day. Our mission to buy this Corvette actually started at 11 in the morning, and it had nothing to do with this Corvette. it was supposed to be driving across the country to buy an Escalade for Eric. We found an Escalade Platinum, drove 4 or 5 hours to go pick that thing up, and when we got there, the flawless Escalade needed a transmission, or at least a torque converter. It was a super nice truck, but it drove horribly. It was banging through its shifts. It had to be a bad torque converter in that 6L80. So we bailed on that. We drove hours again to buy an Avalanche. The Avalanche had rust, and we were coming home with an empty trailer, and this Corvette was on the way home, and I already knew about it. So I texted the owner, and I said, we'll be there in 1 hour and 26 minutes. This is quite a few hours after the Avalanche, and we're gonna pick it up. So we are headed to buy the cheapest C5 Corvette in the USA that does run and drive, but I've heard it's pretty hurt. So we'll be there in a minute, and we're gonna check this thing out. We're gonna check it out for about, I'm not even gonna look at this car, I'm kidding. We're gonna pay the man and put it on the trailer and run away, because it's 22 dropping to 9. I do not want to be outside for more than like 5 minutes. This is gonna be one of those fast transactions. It's so cheap that nothing could go wrong. We're in Eric's Hemi. We were going to pick up a car for him, obviously, so we took his truck, but dropped that fire on him one time. We gotta hear this thing sing. Oh! This is Flowmaster 54. This thing's quick! That's pulling a trailer and it's quick! I can't tell you how fast that was. It went to Mexico quick. And there it is. We are here in Neodesha, Kansas, and as you guys know, we've been here quite a few times because for some reason there's always cool cars in Neodesha to pick up. This is also where I bought my Ford EXP, one of the first cars on the channel. And now we're here to pick up a super cheap C5 Corvette. So let's get outside for the minimal amount of time that we can be outside and get this thing loaded up on the trailer. Chris, what's going on?
How you doing?
Oh, not bad. John Rouse, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Mike.
Mike, nice to meet you.
I'm his dad.
Okay, so this was your car, right?
Yes.
All right, and it got flooded?
Well, I was playing around with it, and it got a little water in it. And,
I see.
And so I've been driving it all day today, so.
Oh, okay.
So it runs, but
it knocks. It's got pretty low power at this point.
I see. So it's down at least like a cylinder, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
One cylinder probably is.
I think what happened was the first shop we took it to try to start it without the
pulling the plugs or anything.
Plugs.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, because he said some, and this got a bent. You can hear when you start it up. You can hear a little rod underneath there.
Gotcha.
I'll go get the keys real quick.
Okay, yeah, let's check it out. All right, let's check this thing out.
The rest of it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the body looks straight.
Yeah.
And the red interior is cool. All right, we're gonna try to start this thing up. Starts right up.
We got that rattle.
It sure is sticky. Yes. Oh, it's so angry. We got reduced engine power and it's starting to shake. But you know what? It does run and drive, that's for sure. Can I clear the fender? No. I need you to take it off. Oh yeah. That removable fender is so good. Look at this. Eric's got gloves. Well, we've got the C5 all loaded up. Thank you guys so much. Everybody, thanks. Sorry I have to run because of course it's cold, but super nice to meet you all. Yeah. And we're gonna get out of here.
Thanks for taking it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys.
I may come out there one of these days and see if I can buy one off of you.
There you go. There you go. I got a Z06. I don't want to sell it, but I might. All right. Thank you guys so much.
You guys have a safe drive.
Have a good one. Yeah. All right, man. See, dealerships, that's how long transactions should take. we were in and out in 10 minutes. So got this thing loaded up. I'm super excited about it because obviously it just drove on the trailer, and it seems like it just needs an engine. Pretty typical for this channel. Just needs an engine, no big deal. Okay, we got a little bit of light. We stopped at the gas station on the way home because we needed gas, but let's take a quick little look around this thing before we get back to the shop. The wheels are definitely aftermarket, but they look kind of like the Z06 reproductions, but they're machine face with a black painted inner. I think they look good. This thing looks nice. All right, I'm excited. Well, let's see if she can still do a burnout. I hope Eric doesn't try to do a donut right here.
It's got reduced engine power.
Nothing?
Yeah.
That's it? Oh, no burnout? No, it's not gonna change. It was always doing that. Okay, we are back in the shop with my 2000, manufacture date 799. This has to be a 2000. So we are here with my 2000 base model C5 Corvette. Welcome to John Ross's C5 Corvette Emporium. We got C's, we got B's, we got Z's. Anyway, I don't know what we're talking about, but we have 3 C5s here now. Obviously we've got Rat Vet, we've got Wet Vet, because this one ingested some water. It wasn't a flood car though. And the other one is Fast Vet, I guess, the Z06. The incredible one. And this is my newest 2000 C5 Corvette base that I just noticed has sports seats. I saw the red interior, which is rare, and it's so sick with the white. I mean, beautiful, beautiful spec. White with a full red interior. And then I noticed that sports seats, and those are expensive. I've had sports seats in, I think I think almost every one of mine has sports seats, because Z should have it. And the tan one, I think, has sports seats. And then this one has sports seats. And my old tan one had sports seats. I just love that seat. Very, very dirty. Look at all the dirt on the speaker grill there. It's almost black. It has a gradient, red to black, where the shoes have hit it. But pretty nice. The driver's seat's all ripped up, so we'll get a recover for that. The passenger seat looks perfect, like almost nowhere. Really no dirt over there in those footwells. We got a flip out DVD player, which is sweet. I wish I had a DVD here. Anything in here? Nope, she's empty. But hey, this one's in really good shape compared to Rat Vet. A lot less to work on. There's the manual hanging out in the back. It doesn't look like rats have gotten to this car. Horn work? Don't think it works. So this is a auto. It's a 4L60, but it's the separated 4L60. The transmission sits right about here. There's a torque tube between them, which is basically a drive shaft inside of a fixed tube, so that the engine and the transmission are fixed together without being together. So the drive shaft runs inside of a tube that runs all the way up the center of this thing to about here. And there's bearings in there that do fail sometimes, but this only has 134,000 miles on it. So I don't have any concerns about the transmission or the torque tube or anything like that. The concern is the engine is ruined. So let's pop the hood and talk about the old 5.7 LS1, the original best engine ever made. Now, I was getting some hate in the comments again the other day. Everyone knows the LS is the best engine ever made. There's, 50 different variants. They're all bulletproof. And the thing about them is when they break, they still get you home. I've owned so many of these that will drive home down like 4 cylinders and not even blink. That's why the LS is the best. It's not because it's the best engineered or the best performing or anything like that. It's because it's a classic Chevy V8 that they've iterated over years and years and years. People love to hate on it because of that, but it's bulletproof. No matter how broken it is. I mean, bad cam position sensor still gets you home. Bad crank, as long as you got one of them, it gets you home. You down 3 cylinders, it gets you home. That's why it's the best engine. Also because parts are dirt cheap. All right, let's take a look at the old LS1. I was not expecting it to look this clean under the hood. This thing is clean. We got a new alternator, obviously, made in China, right there. So that's a reman alternator. The belt looks new. The battery, Super Start, my favorite battery right there. 2 of 20, so that's new. I also heard this has a new ECM because they love to die in C5s. Obviously, we've had the green Corvette all the way torn down. You guys have seen replacing the engine harness and everything. Even the engine covers are in here. I don't have those on either of the others right now. The ECU sits underneath the battery. It actually sits right, you pull out the wheel well liner, which is funny because the screws are falling out, but the ECU is right here. And because of that ECU location, what happens is a bunch of water goes down in there, and the connector is facing up, if I remember right. Water gets in the connector or in the ECU, and that's what kills the engine on this, is the computer's in a bad location. So bulletproof old V8. But this one, they were telling me the story. Basically, there was like a train bridge which dips down underneath, and there's a bit of water sitting in the train bridge, and they were driving it through there, and it got enough water to come up over the front that it picked it up in the lid here. This is where the air filter is, and sucked some of that water into the engine, and that was it. It hydrolocked, they shut it down, took it to a shop. The shop just decided to crank it instead of pulling the plugs or anything like that, and it killed it. So that said, it's not dead. It runs and drives. This is the cheapest running and driving. I mean, I guess the $5,000 one technically ran and drove too, but this one's awesome. This one's even better. So we got 3 keys here. Let's start this thing up. It's down at least 1 cylinder completely. And there's 40 pounds of oil pressure climbing, 50 pounds of oil pressure. Everything works. Check. So we've got reduced engine power, all the good stuff that you would expect from being super broken. Service tire monitor system. I'm a little worried about service tire monitor system. It probably means it's completely broken and the keyless entry doesn't work. They use the same receiver. We're fixing that on the green car too right now. So I'm gonna guess that the entire receiver assembly for that, it's sitting back there, is completely broken. So no keyless entry and no TPMS right now. The receiver might be okay and these aftermarket wheels might not have sensors in them, but I'm gonna guess that it's definitely broken. I also just noticed we're missing the heads-up display. There's no controls and there's no hole in the dash, which is unfortunate. Check the auto windows. Oh, everything works great. Passenger side worked great. Driver's side works great. This is awesome. What a car. $3,500. Full run drive, DVD playing, C5 Corvette. I know this car is struggling, but it would absolutely drive wherever I wanted right now. Ooh, those were the days. These were the best days of car technology. You know that tick is always there. It's not just a decel thing. Like it's always there, which kind of makes me think it could be valve train and not a rod. I mean, if it was a rod, we'd definitely hear it like get louder on decel, but it sounds absolutely the same. So kind of got me thinking that this car might just need heads. And a set of LS1 heads that were completely put together sold just the other day for $40. So, wouldn't that be the best day ever? The front bumper on this thing does look like it's a different color. I know everyone's gonna comment on that. It looks like a much brighter white than Arctic white or whatever this factory color name is. If you look at the transition right there, maybe you can see it looks more white. But this thing has 0 reported collisions on the Carfax. I do think it said 7 owners, so I need to take a look at that. Here's the Carfax, 7 previous owners, at least 1 open recalls, 12 service history records, 125,000 was the last reported odometer reading, 134 now, so not crazy at all, 10,000 more miles on it. Battery negative cable here has been replaced with a cheap one. It's got this screw-on thing where you cut the wire and shove the wire back in there and tighten it down with a screw or something like that. And it has that auxiliary there, so a lot of this has been replaced. It looks like this came from a salvage yard too, the fuse box here. I guess the only other thing we need to check on this car to see if it works is the pop-up headlights, because everything else seems to work incredibly well. We'll check the hatch too. Let's just push all the buttons because hatch works great. It even pops all the way. The green one doesn't pop all the way. Oh yes, hatch struts work. And the hood struts work. This had a factory 12-disc changer. I don't remember if that was actually a factory option, but if it was, that is super cool. Hiding out in the little junk well there. I know that head unit works. What else? Oh, headlights. That's the last thing we have to check. Ooh, they sound rough. But they work. Work great. Well, there you have it. Somehow topping the last Corvette that basically ran like it was down a cylinder because the injector and ignition harnesses were all ate up by rats on Rat Vet. This one just needs an engine. So The LSs should be pretty easy to find. I've been looking nonstop and I haven't had any luck getting one yet. I had one that I totally found, ready to go, long block, drop it in, and this thing's back on the road. But it sold this morning, so there was no buying that one. I'm trying to get a new engine, and we will do some troubleshooting on this, I guess. We'll do a compression test, leak down test, find out what cylinder's bad, maybe pull the heads off, but in reality, I think we just toss a new engine in it, and it's just ready to go. It's too nice to do what I wanted with the car, which was EV swap it. I can't wait for GM to release their EV Corvette very shortly, the Zorro or the ZR1 that'll have 1,000 horsepower. But if we pulled the whole rear subframe out of this, I think we could get a Tesla motor back there and throw a bunch of batteries in the front and have the ultimate car. So on this one though, I think we're just gonna fix it and get it back on the road, maybe throw HP tuners on it, tune it real quick, and see what happens. Although the other option is get like a Texas Speed 427 and make it really fast. I also have a spare supercharger. I've got an extra Pro charger sitting at home, so you know, it's supposed to go on the S10, but it could go on this, because obviously these things are super awesome with a supercharger. No other kind of awesome would make sense being that super. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm pumped to have this one. These are just great cars. They're so great to drive. I can't say enough good things about them. So hopefully you're excited to see another C5 come back to life and be a great driver. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to head on over to shop, WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. Okay, we are back in the shop with my 2000. Is it a 2000? Manufactured date 799. That's got to be a 2000.